Hey, everybody. Hopefully everybody can see me. We just started, says we're live. I've got Derek here with me. And I cannot see the actual live stream yet because there's a delay. Oh, there I am. All right. So I am going to be kind of toggling all over the place for this. Welcome, everybody. I see we've got 20 of you hanging out watching. I appreciate you. Waiting. Derek's computer decided to take a shit on us just right as we started, but we are good to go. We've got the movie queued up. Derek's got it queued up. What we're going to do, and again, I appreciate everybody for participating. This is brand new. All feedback is welcome. We want to see how this works, but what we're going to do is I'm going to show you my screen in a minute so you can kind of see that I'm going to start it. You need to go to, if you haven't already, Amazon Prime on your TV or wherever you're going to watch the movie. Pull up I Had a Bloody Good Time at House Harker. Go ahead and hit play because Amazon likes to run one of their shows. It's like 15 seconds. And then hit pause as soon as the screen goes black. And as soon as you see this Shoreline logo for the production company. It's the first few seconds of the movie. So we're going to pause it there. Derek's going to talk a little bit just about the movie so you get an idea of what we're getting ready to watch. And I also have this nifty little timer that hopefully stays on the whole time. That way, if you lose your place or whatever, if you need to pause the movie and you get off, you can still, know exactly kind of where the movie is based on this timer back here. And so it should be fun. We are going to be reading your chats. But we're also going to watch the movie. It's a very funny movie. It's we don't want to step on the story too much. We don't want to step on too many of the jokes. But Derek is here as one of the co-writers, producer, star, and he's got some fun insights. So I'm going to turn it over to Derek just for a minute to sort of introduce the movie, and then we'll go ahead and get started.
Howdy. And let me get back to you. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you, and which means everybody else should be able to hear you.
Are we having some technical problems or what? Well, of course, we did a test yesterday, Darren and I, and everything was perfect. And now it's just my computer. I can't even. I'm trying to match up with the movie right now, and I'm having a problem getting just to the movie. So bear with me, guys. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Take your time on that. And then if anybody else is having trouble or has any confusion about where to find the movie or to look it up, go ahead and let us know in the chat. Yeah. And if you notice somebody ask a question you know the answer to as far as setting up, feel free to answer it. The chat tends to sort of get away from me role, and I'm not necessarily going to see everything. But yeah, Derek is correct. We had a beautiful test last night, and the test went way better than this started, but I think we're good to go. So Derek's going to get the movie queued up, but he's going to kind of talk a little bit about what these guys did. The cool thing about this movie, I'll go ahead and say while he's getting that set up, is I watched this movie on my own accord. I think I told Derek, I think I was homesick one day and watched a bunch of movies and just I saw the trailer and didn't know anything about it and gave it a shot and really, really liked it and watched it again either that night or the next night. Like watched it with my wife because she didn't watch it with me. I was home alone. So I liked it that much. And then sometime over the summer, I guess, I included it on a list of vampire movies that I recommended that you could watch on streaming. And somehow or another, Derek happened to see that video and commented, and then we've sort of been in touch ever since. He has appeared on the podcast. He was my second guest ever on the podcast.
Yeah.
You can check that out. There's just search for Flick Connection Podcast either on YouTube or Spotify, iTunes, wherever. But that's how I found the movie. And the cool thing about it, and Derek will go into more detail, is I don't want to say too much. Derek, are you ready?
I'm at the Shoreline. Yeah, I'm at the Shoreline logo right now.
Well, I tell you what, just before we're about to get started, okay. Since you're where everybody else should be by now, just tell us, give me a quick intro. not necessarily about the movie because we're watching it anyway. But by the way,
Yeah.
we've got almost 50 people watching, which is
Oh, wow.
more than I expected from the start. So
Welcome, everybody.
and
Welcome.
I'm going to turn it over to you. You are good to go. Just sort of give people a little background on what this movie is and how it came to be.
Okay. And then start play, right? Or we'll go. I'll just talk about the movie.
I'll set it. I'll help everybody sync up so we hit it at the same time.
Perfect. So basically, this whole what we're witnessing right now is a great example of what we went through making this film. Just technical problems throughout, lenses being cracked, windows being broken. I can't remember if anyone got hurt. I'm sure someone got sick because it was so cold over there. It was just kind of a bootstrap kind of indie making kind of film, which, instead of doing a, Kevin Smith, like talking kind of movie back and forth, angle here, angle there, we decided to make this popcorn action movie vampire comedy, which, looking back, maybe wasn't the smartest thing to do, but at the same time, I don't think we would have done really good in making like a romantic comedy either. I think that would have sucked for us. So I think that's why we kind of just dove in and just said, fuck it. And we decided to go ahead and make this vampire movie about family, in a sense. That's kind of what the movie's always been about to me. All this crazy stuff is going, the core of the movie is about family and just sticking together. So I don't know if anyone ever caught that, but but it's always been the purpose of the movie, I thought, from the get-go.
All right, well, cool. Well, again, thanks to everybody for joining the stream. And geez, so my mother is communicating with me through.
Oh my God, we should call my parents on FaceTime.
iMessage. So, all right,
let's call her FaceTime right now and get her.
What we're gonna do? So, all right, everybody's ready to start. Make sure you got your popcorn, you got your drink, because we are ready to roll. And this is something you can pause. You can start again, but you won't be watching with us live. We are live right now. So
we are live.
Here's what we're going to do. I am going to turn the camera temporarily to the screen. That way you just know that you're about the right time. If you're a second or two off, don't worry about it. Ideally, you should not be hearing the movie come through your speakers on the live stream. You should just hear us. I'm going to start this timer at the same time. I'm going to give you a kind of a countdown. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, play. Hit the play button, and we are gonna roll. So we are literally about to do that right now. Let me get the camera situated, and then Derek, just don't say anything for a moment because it's gonna switch to your camera if you do. So let's see. Let me make sure I got all my buttons in place. And hopefully everybody's ready. I'm just giving everybody just a second to kind of make sure they got their remote in their hand, ready to hit the play button. I'm ready to hit the timer and the play button in 1, 2, 3, play. All right, and we're rolling. I'm just going to leave it on screen just for a moment.
Oh my God.
There's the Good Vibes logo. Hopefully everybody's with us. Again, if you're just a little bit off, don't worry about it. But this is the movie.
I don't know what's happening. Mine won't play.
Well, you're going to be able to, I think, time it up.
Yeah. I can. Yeah.
I've got the timer. So if people are, make sure I got.
Okay, I know where I'm at. It's.
So I'm just going to be quiet for the first couple minutes, just so you guys can kind of get into the movie.
Can you turn the camera over to the TV so I can match it? Okay, I know where we are. This is awesome. Okay, I'm pretty close to where you guys are.
Cool.
Well, this was all shot in California. I don't know if that's
This scene, you mean, not the movie? Where was the movie?
Yeah, no, this scene was all shot in California. A lot of it was shot in Wisconsin, but
There he is.
could you? I think I might be a little behind. Could you turn it one more time? This is a nightmare. Okay, here we go. Oh, where are you? Almost there. Got it. All right, we're on. So this is how you make a movie. I should. Oh my god! I feel like this is my nightmare. I make fun of my parents for not knowing how to get on their email, and then I have all the technical problems right now. This is my karma. This is my fault. I've done this to myself. But what snack do you got?
A pretty heavy beer. And there's the first glimpse of the amount of blood you're going to see by the end of the movie.
Yeah, it's a nice teaser, and that was the whole purpose of the opening, was to kind of be like, what are we watching? Are we watching a scary movie? And then it just kind of, that first joke there, you're stepping on my lines, and that was hopefully that pays off too, where people are like, what am I watching? And then it's like, oh, okay, this is a comedy. We don't have to take this seriously. So I think we always are kind of pointing to that too. This is don't take it too seriously. I remember watching Jacob do this. Oh my gosh, I was just like laughing. And then this part where he drops the tooth. Are we pretty close to where that? Yeah. I just said drop the tooth. Are we pretty close?
Yeah. I think you might be a couple seconds behind, but you're good.
Okay.
Because the spice rack's coming up.
Right. Yeah. And this is all shot in Wisconsin. This is the Harker house. My dad's partner, Barbara Cooney, she owns this house, and my dad fixes up houses with her, and then they sell them. And that behind you, that contraption, that we went and bought that. Clayton will deny it, our director, but he picked a women's harness, and we put Noel Carroll in a woman's harness for like 2 days.
Meaning he didn't to the point where
he couldn't. He was in a woman's harness, so it was like all the way up to his crotch, and so he was in so much pain. Well, actually, can take a lot. And when I saw Noel be like, I can't, I'm done. Like, holy shit, we're in trouble. So he must have been in so much pain for him to actually say something. But we had to build that thing when we were there, that whole contraption. We had no idea how to do it. I am not an engineer. My father's not an engineer. Our executive producer, definitely not an engineer, but we had to come up with something to build. And there was a guy in the back. He was holding up Noel, and he just dropped him just behind that painting that I actually painted. Took me 2 days to paint that thing. I try to paint it good, so that's why it looks like shit. Like, I'm just going to do the best job I can, and then it turned out perfect for what we needed it for. And that was Ronin. We bought this piece of equipment for these shots because we don't have a crane, so it kind of saved us a lot on, you know, being creative with visuals and stuff like that. And this was all Clayton Cogswell. He put this sequence together. The music is written by Tim Sloan right here. This is one of the first songs I think we heard. We were just like blown away. Gave it this whole rock and roll kind of feel to it.
Yeah, now it works with this movie too.
Yeah.
All right, who's this?
This little lady right here. She's gonna come out in a second. Did she already come out on your side?
Yeah, you're like 3 seconds behind.
How far am I?
There's like 3 seconds.
Okay, so that's Mary Haugen, my mother, and she really is missing a tooth. She auditioned for this and she nailed it, and she's never done any real acting in her life, but so many people thought that she was like by far one of the more professional actors in the movie. She did fantastic, I thought. And that's fake poop. No real poop was used in this. This is that was kind of like an Abla line right there. I was just kind of making shit up while I was saying stuff. I think I remember that. And there's the great Whitney Moore
in the beginning of the movie, because it's where you get like a real special effect.
Yeah,
not her getting undressed, but the 360.
Yeah. This is when I turn in a second. Am I already turning around on your side? Yeah. So that was made by Alan Cragen. He was our co-producer. And he had like 3 days to build this thing, and it was crazy. And they hooked me up onto it, and they spin me around. And when we first got onto it, once I was there, I was like, wait, how do we know this is going to work? But like, how am I not going to know I'm going to hit my head? And because Alan tested it, but he's a little bit taller, so he had to adjust it to where I was. I'm like, how do I, like, if he got it off, like, I just the thing goes, and I just knock my head right onto the ground. But and my dad was super nervous. He did not want me to do it. And we strapped me in. I had to take my shirt off. They strapped me into these harness, and I'm sitting there, and they put all the clothes back on. And then the test goes, and I just spin all the way around super fast too, not slow. And my dad's like, oh my God, that was so cool. Let's do it again. Like, he was so freaking excited that it worked, that he wanted me to do it again. And I did. We did it a couple more times. I think we did like 4 or 5 takes of that.
Well, and if anybody notices Paige, if anybody notices the actress in that scene, she's fairly known from Birdemic. If anybody has seen that. Yeah,
it's probably way more famous in our movie. That's for sure. And this is a hardware store. That scene that you just saw, that was actually in California when I was outside, and now we're back in Wisconsin. And we're back in Wisconsin. So we'll go back and forth. I'll try to remember, like, this is California, this is Wisconsin. It's because we did shoot that scene in Wisconsin, but it was full of snow at that time, and it couldn't be full of snow at that point. And this was a kind of a last minute thing. Clayton came up with this scene to make it kind of scary. It was not written in the script that I remember. And he just kind of told us that day. We were shooting so many scenes this day too. We had only 2 hours to shoot in this.
Yeah.
So we didn't have a lot of time. So it was just like, go, 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 go. Easy. Even Clayton's like, I don't know if we got it, but I think that it kind of came. I might be biased, but and this is where he We find out that Ned loves to carve wood. This is all of his wood carvings in a garbage can.
Yeah.
Went to a bar in California here. This is months, like a month after, maybe even longer. This is back in Wisconsin, though. This is the last scene we shot in Wisconsin. One of the last scenes.
Oh, so the drinks, the quick shots of the drinks were at a bar in California, and
that's
then this
correct.
is in
And now this is in Wisconsin. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah. So this is like, and that's all of Clayton. Clayton did a really good job in like matching all these things together. It's pretty crazy. This is. One of my favorite jokes. You're still not safe. This scene was not in the original script. We had to go and reshoot this. We did a test screening for all the Kickstarters. So if any Kickstarters are listening, thank you so much.
But definitely have some fans in the comments. There's a couple of comments about how sexy you are.
Unfortunately, I can't even look at the comments because it's like I'm just like here because I got the movie up, so I'm just watching the movie.
Yeah, I'll let you know if there's any questions.
Yeah, any questions?
I think we're going to do like a quick like Q&A when it's over.
Great.
Have any viewers?
yeah. If anyone can make it, hopefully we'll make it interesting here. But yeah, that scene was shot purposely because we did a focus group, and one of the suggestions were that there was enough backstory of the Harkers and stuff like that. So once we did that scene, that really explained Charlie's behavior and stuff a little bit. Like something happened to him back then, so it kind of was okay that he's talking to a pencil, without any real explanation.
Oh, here it comes. Let's explain this after.
He was an outsider in a small town with dreams of making it big.
Daddy was an accountant, damn it, and you're gonna be one too. Your mother's right. You're nothing but an accountant.
Based on the story of one boy who
That's great.
odds. Twirl, baby. Twirl. From the team who brought you the zoo.
God, it's beautiful. Should do a.
I wonder, that must be what it's like to do a bad movie, though.
Yeah, well,
bad movie and go back to your hometown.
Yeah, it was. Well, we had there's been times where we thought we made Twirl, so we're like trying to get people to see it sometimes, or in film festivals, we're just like, did we make Twirl?
Well, speaking of a bad movie and going back to your hometown,
sure.
If anybody has seen Troll 2, the dad from Troll 2 is an upcoming guest on the podcast.
Really?
I just found out today. I'm super excited about that. I love that movie.
That is exciting.
But it's definitely got it. That movie is Twirl.
Which a lot of people have said, and I've made jokes too, of actually making the real movie Twirl. Parts of me thinks it would be an amazing idea, and other parts are like I don't know. Like the only good it could come is to promote House Harker, but I don't know if anyone would watch an 80-minute version of Twirl.
Somebody's asking who came up with the Twirl scene.
That's a great question. These are just, all these ideas were I think it was Jacob. I think Jacob came up with this. If I remember correctly.
Anybody who's watching, I know we're talking over the movie a lot. If there's a part of the movie you absolutely want to make sure that you hear, just turn us down, turn us back up. But we'll also try to refrain, just like with Twirl, to not talk over any any of the real precious
Yeah.
moments. But the movie is well worth watching as a standalone as well. I know here comes
Sure.
so I know we've got some people watching it that have seen it though too.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk over it too much, but this was a moment coming up when I knew like there was more to this movie than I thought the first time I watched it.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then, to be honest with you, we were seeing like these little edits and stuff. But once I saw this first cut, and you know what part I'm talking about coming up, it was like, oh my god, like like it just kind of brought it to a different level.
Yep.
In the neck.
Leave it in, leave it in, leave it in.
Jacob's facial expressions are priceless.
I'm pretty sure it's in their pocket. It's on the table. There is a sign. Only competition for pay. I'm not spending the next 5 years and selling daddy with a straw.
my that was another moment. My turd cutter tongue punched was when I realized how good the writing was in this movie.
It was Clayton
Yeah.
came up with that line.
It's
It was a tongue twister too. I kept messing that one up.
It's pretty poetic. It's very descriptive.
Very just
Good job.
I still don't know what it is, but it was a funny line. This is ridiculous. Of course,
Just
these idiots.
completely disappearing.
Morons. All right, Wisconsin. That was California. That one insert shot. Wisconsin. California.
No, he definitely
Still
knew what to do
California.
as far as cropping things in, so you can never tell.
And Wisconsin. Yeah, that's what we're back in Wisconsin. That's Arlen. He's great. I love that guy. That's my brother.
Oh, because he had to be thinner.
Yeah, my brother's 135 pounds.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we pull it up, but
He's got a good line here about being murdered by his wife.
Yeah.
That's almost like that one of my favorite lines in Christmas Vacation. If you need anything, I'll be upstairs asleep.
These singers are a crew, like Clayton, our director, Tim, Noel. They're all singing right now. You're gonna get rid of a body. This is how you do it.
Yeah.
Shot in California, by the way.
It's gonna work. I saw it on an episode of Unsolved Mysteries. Unsolved.
Is the D on your Ned's Wood hat forever gone?
Yeah, this is the original hat. So it's been through some hell.
Yeah.
And it fell off. My sister actually made this hat. The hat actually, the hat was free. I think I stole this hat by accident at a bar. I thought they put it on the bill, and then I realized they never did. And so my sister Jolie made this hat and all the parts and stuff, you know, to sew it, and the wood and all that cut.
By the way, anybody that's watching, this timer is working out beautifully. So that works. It matches the time. So if you were to do these in the future and you can watch it live, you can always come back.
Do that myself.
Room and you need to recalibrate it. This is matching what I've got in Amazon.
Oh, perfect. Ned. The guy that played Wayne, Nathan Lorch, I thought he just did a great job. He's worked with us before, though, and just plays that great, nice guy, you know.
Did you guys have like a specific condition in mind for him, or?
That was all Noel that kind of came up with this character, and they came up a little bit, you know, him just being weird, but we don't really discuss, like, you know, is he, you know, what he has or anything like that. And I think it was just he saw something with that skull, and it just kind of messed him up, you know.
Oh, okay.
I think he's definitely a genius, right? You know, but he's, you know, antisocial, obviously.
Yeah.
And this is totally not Noel. Noel, I think, did probably the best acting in the film, and he doesn't even want to be an actor. Of course, he does a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, the producing stuff, business side of it.
And in case anybody's wondering, we do have. Oh, you can't. It's a shame you're not looking at the.
Can I? I'll try to go look at it. Are the comments coming in right on the?
Because otherwise, we'll hear ourselves 8 seconds ago.
Okay. So we're on the YouTube link. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, just be sure to mute it.
Oh, got it.
But Jacob is commenting,
Yeah, I see that. Nice.
and I don't know if you recognize
Surprised
anybody
he-
else.
I do, Jacob. Yeah, Jacob. Surprised he didn't go as Invisible Sharks. It's an inside joke to Jacob. He'll know what I'm talking about. Oh, Jacob just laughed. Nice.
I think. Oh, okay. Yeah. He does look kind of like Bob Saget, that other actor.
Who's that? Well, that's Morris Ruskin.
And he looks a lot like a
that
lot
played the
like
dad.
Bob Saget.
Morris Ruskin actually is the CEO of Shoreline
Oh,
Entertainment. Yeah. We're like, we're going to do everything we can to get people to see this movie. And then he turned out to be fantastic in the film. My wife says that he's the best actor in the movie. Can I talk about this scene real quick?
Yeah.
That scene where we're Romania with the gangster, originally that was supposed to be a scene with like teenagers. They're making out and stuff. And a dog, is in the car and it runs away. And then they go in the woods and chase him. And then they hear some noise. All of a sudden, the dog just is thrown in their face and he's all like bloody and stuff. And the vampire comes out and kills him. And we didn't shoot the scene because we got some notes back, actually from Shoreline, saying that studies have shown that audience does not like when a dog gets murdered. So
Oh yeah.
we ended up actually then Jacob Givens came up with the idea of the gangsters, and so we went and we shot it. Well, actually, we shot it. We never shot that scene. These guys are assholes in this town. It's getting them drunk.
Yeah, well, it's almost kind of necessary too because of what happens later. You need some assholes in that house, otherwise, if they're all sympathetic characters, this would be like.
It's true. If it was all Waynes. Well, that was the thing too. When we were doing it, we didn't want to make them too shitbirds, because we had a lot of people thought the townspeople were too mean, so we had to kind of dial them back a little bit and cut a few scenes that get laid. So these guys were never in Wisconsin. The two deputies that you just saw, they were never in Wisconsin. That's all shot in California. Wisconsin. California? Wisconsin. And Wisconsin. So these are all extras, all Midwest people. Wonderful. Awesome. Great accents. Terrorist. Did anyone else get to spin on it? Oh, that was my wife, Ayani. No one else spinned on that. It was just me.
We know a lot about vampires.
Jacob's giving a little spoil and was hinting to stay at the end credits there.
I'm so sorry. They just heard the word.
So for anybody that sort of missed it because we were talking in the beginning, they're in danger of losing the house. They need a decent amount of money, and then that's where the wheels kind of start turning here, as there's like this vampire hysteria, and they're connected to it. So that's where this starts to kind of unfold.
Oh, I say that to my mom all the time. You shut the fuck up. She loves it.
Oh no.
She was caught safely on a bed. I love that line. Oh, it's good.
Well, you had that cigar ready.
Yeah, it's like he's waiting for his wife to die for years.
Which was nothing, apparently. You don't even believe in vampires.
That little dance was dedicated to Bill Murray and Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh, shit.
Oh my god. The shaking of the hands was Blazing Saddles, of course. Oh my god. This is Jesus Christ. I think this was one of the first blood when we got really wet here.
Yeah. You kind of ease in on the blood. There's a little bit, and then a little bit more, and then this scene is where.
All right. And, shot in California right there. I'll get the shop vac. Arlen yelling the horror. Apocalypse now.
Yeah, he did great.
Yeah. These idiots. What? I want to have these guys unclog my toilet, let alone kill a vampire. My favorite line's coming up right now.
When exactly in this scripture, they feel now
I love that line. Like, what? They did all of that for nothing. It's like, okay. Oh my god. Vinny says, I feel like I'm watching two guys just watch a movie. Well, yeah, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, that's the plan.
That's the plan. We could juggle. Do you have any?
No, I can't juggle.
We're screwed.
If you are still watching, and it looks like most people are, and you're enjoying it, click the like button. It'll make sure more people see it. YouTube will like make the active stream start to pop up on other people's feeds. So we might actually get some more people popping in if that like number shoots up a little bit.
Someone asked who did the soundtrack for the movie. Tim Sloan. Amazing.
Not so bad.
Oh. This guy was great, Richard. He's funny. He's like, I'm over this. God.
He did a great job with the color palette on these scenes. Looks just like The Exorcist. It's like gray and blue compared to the rest of the movie. It looks just like The Exorcist.
Oh. I wasn't here for this day, but he just did that on his own. That was just an outtake, and then Clayton left it in. This is the great Jamie Gibbons. Not the sister to Jacob Gibbons, but that's his wife.
Oh,
Jacob might laugh at that joke or be irritated. I don't know. We had somebody ask that on one of our other series.
yeah, there it goes.
This isn't a movie, Jerry.
We're reading these comments. These are great. Are you there, Darren?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. Actually, I need to pay a little more attention to who the camera's on from time to time. I can't remember. Are your wood carvings all really shitty, or are they actually pretty good?
Like my actual ones?
Yeah, like Ned's.
Ned's, I think they're all terrible, but
Okay.
the guy that did them, he was very good and was very upset with us that we made him do a half-ass. Like, that was one of his, but it was like it wasn't finished.
Where I get the impression that Ned just really sucks at it, even though he's really passionate about it.
Oh yeah, he's horrible. Yeah, he's awful at it. There's no question. Yeah, Ned is Ned. But everything he does, he thinks he's great, and then it's just awful at everything. That was a $500 joke we had to pay coming up with that big car. I love that scene. California, Wisconsin. Very. Not you. Daniel Day-Lewis.
Give them a show, and then we swoop in and save the day. Choice do we have? Very fast.
Yeah, Noel's so good in this. He should act more. That is Nathan's wife, the sheriff. That's his wife right there.
Oh wow.
What inspired you to reinvent this feature? First of all,
That's cool. And then also,
Noel's- that's Noel's wife. Yeah.
like Jacob mentioned, the vomit came out of it was squirted out of a 2-liter bottle.
It was
like
when we.
no budget things are always cool to hear on a movie like this.
And that was we did have like a hose in Wisconsin, and I think they tried to use the same thing in that scene, but it wasn't working. So someone, I don't know who came up with it. I wasn't there when they filmed the Exorcist stuff, but someone just came up with a 2-liter bottle, and then after that, there was another scene that we had to use it for the blood. But yeah, we had a hose. John Inge, he did all the visual effects, and had to hose us with blood. Here is coming up Clayton Cogswell, our director. He gets killed right there.
Thanks again, Tanner. So good to catch
I
up.
love that guy.
Yeah, that was great. You got $800.
Never scissor hands. We're gonna be vampires.
No, it definitely would not work.
Beat out of one. Squirrel, baby. Squirrel. Come on, you guys are not doing this for me. Stupid vampire puppet for your show.
Yeah, I love the different
Okay,
the different vampire hunter.
that joke right there. The vampire of fetish porn Robin. That joke, that's one of those jokes where you think you're right about something and then you're wrong. That joke played so well in every festival, and I tried to get that joke cut out.
Oh yeah.
I would like to publicly apologize to Jacob Gibbons. He wrote that joke. I look like the Robin Hood of fetish porn. I actually got Clayton to cut it out, and it didn't go over well. But it got put back in, and I was wrong.
You know, the
Played
word.
so well.
I do find that I like the wordier jokes in this one.
Yeah, and that is Jacob.
When it's got like too many words in it, it plays pretty well.
No. You just made Jacob's day, by the way. Jacob.
Well, I imagine that's pretty hard to do because it could easily have, honestly, too many words. But if it's if it's got just a little bit too many crammed in there to still be really funny, seems like that'd be hard to do. This guy was great with his
oh, dude, yeah.
Daniel Day-Lewis went with his Eddie Munster Dracula.
I love that he heard it. He's like, okay, whatever.
Oh, Jacob, just so you know, when you put profanity in there like that, I have to actually hit the word. I have to approve it. It won't let it go in without me hitting a button.
No way. Kids.
It puts this giant button up that says show or hide, and I have to.
No way. This must be just pushing the button the whole time.
Oh, tell him someone. Vinny is saying the song sounds familiar. Tell him about the song real quick.
That song is written by Right Said Fred. When you don't know who that is, we'll look him up right away. It's they did, of course, "I'm Too Sexy" for my shirt, which I I remember singing a lot in the mirror, and then just recently looked to see when that song came out. And I was like 18 or 19, which I'm just, then I said all my flashbacks of me singing in the mirror and trying to look sexy just became weird and creepy. These are too old to be dancing to that song. You still dance to that song, Darren, or no?
No, I would have been a little younger when that came out.
Okay. I still dance to it. I'm not gonna lie.
Even there are those wish cases. I've calculated that 800 close to 50,000. Say goodbye to House Harker. And if you want to see the true, I'd like to meet them.
Oh, jerk.
We're trained professionals, though. If you're going to expect
I remember this.
one
I
set,
come up with this scene, and Jake was writing it, and
Tell me.
just I told him just have her dig into him.
It was your idea, not mine. Not Charlie's. Sure, it comes with Dad.
Dad always wanted to hide things.
It's all about you. It's about you. You left. You
Selfish prick.
never called when your dad was doing. He died. You were too busy focusing on you. And when you were getting that attention,
And seeing her, performance at this point, like, it really indicates how important a good director is. And obviously there's a bunch of reasons why, but like, she just came across as like the worst actress in Birdemic, and it just had to be from horrible director picking the wrong takes
Oh yeah.
on the final cut, because then she's in this and totally 100% convincing, one of the best roles in the movie.
Oh
yeah.
He was by far one of the best actors in this film.
I forgot that you do see a finished carving.
Look like I.
With no face.
Yeah, no face, not finished. The boobs are perfect though. That was the joke.
I know, like completely
Boobs.
sanded and smooth.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he put a lot of work in those boobs. Like 10 months. I remember Whitney Moore when she first saw it. You know, she's like, "I know I'm supposed to be disturbed by this, but if someone made that for me, I'd think it was so romantic."
Someone's asking if the mermaid statue still exists.
It does. It's in Duluth, Minnesota. Alan Cragen has it right by his hot tub, and it's right by a lake. So canoers go by it in the summer, and we're like, "What the fuck is that?"
All right, I'm not going anywhere.
Okay.
I'm getting another beer.
I'm not going anywhere either. I'm getting some water. I get water. You back?
Yeah. I've got a little fridge over here. I just wanted to.
Oh, okay. I lied. I got whiskey.
Oh.
It's my wife's whiskey, so she might chime in here. Yeah, I should have got some water though.
Now go ahead.
All right, I'll be right back. That was Noel's birthday. The scene we just saw. He's on the ground, and he was completely wasted. That's when we really see the vampire for the first time. Like, really get a good look at him. This is my parents' basement.
All right, and then we're coming up
Real
where the wheels
cobwebs.
start to come off of this movie. That it just goes nuts.
Yeah.
Hey, you. I think you're feeling the same. Hey. Hey, look. Look. Hey, I'm going to accept that. Why can't you accept me? Stop being so daggone little.
He did that perfectly. Oh my god. Oh, my mother-in-law said this is such a funny film.
I know, it's a lot.
Oh my god. Oh, you just hear those vocal cords.
I mean, there really is no fat on the. There's really like no filler in this movie.
And that's Clayton. I mean, this script was like 130 pages, but
yeah, I mean it's tight. I mean everything has a purpose and has a place. It gets called back to later.
Oh. Look at Jacob's face. It's just like, that's the spirit? Old chum?
All right, here it comes, everybody.
Here we go. His name is Clarence Campbell, and he auditioned for the part in Wisconsin. The guy that played the doc.
Yeah.
He's great. California.
There it is. Yeah, there's all the snow.
Yeah. Some of that is
snowed unexpectedly, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't know the snow was coming. It wasn't supposed to. It doesn't snow until like the end of November. This was snowing like November 10th. And with like some weird vortex. I love that.
Mhm.
It looks like shit. That's great. The deputies are fantastic.
Huh.
You talk
I
about
wonder
us.
if you're just gonna completely walk away from a house full of vampires in the middle of town.
Oh yeah. I am reading the comments right now, and Jacob saying, "Did you talk about us making up the cross in the window scene last minute?" I don't know what he's talking about. I was drunk a lot when we
Did
made
you maybe
this.
add the crosses to the glass last minute?
I think so. Yeah, we must have. Yeah, a lot of that. I don't know if that was shot in. I know the door was shot on Clayton's house, where they put the hand on the and it like burned. That's that was at Clayton's house, I believe.
All right, here comes all the blood.
Here we go. Garlic. That was my best Mick impression from Rocky 2. Hold this. Best vampire hunters in the world. Are vampires destroying your town? I love the French toast.
Yeah, it's one of those movies, too many jokes to catch them all.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I know what Jacob's talking about now. If we have can I go back for a second? Or
No, we can't go back.
we'll not go back, but talk about a scene.
Oh, yeah,
that we
yeah.
passed. The scene where Walter was holding up the cross to the vampire in the house. In the original script, he was supposed to run out and fall off and break his neck, but once we got out there, realized like, okay, we can't
I got
film this. Yeah, and so that's when I think Jacob and Noel came up with that. Jacob saying, "Never mind," laugh out loud. I don't know, whatever. I thought I did it. I love that look of Jacob. Yeah, this is where it just gets crazy now.
Yeah. Because then now we know when you stake them, they pop.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God, he's so manly. Look at that guy. That juice line was.
That horrible device.
Horrible device. Accidentally saves everybody. We should all have been dead. There's no way anyone would survive that, including Ned.
I love that. Fake.
Originally, we were supposed to have more, I think, internet people watching,
Yeah, I can
but
see that.
we just ran out of time, I think. And, keep the guy. Keep the one guy. He was good. I love that it takes so long for him to get the thing out, and it's so funny.
And so many little things are set up in the beginning. I mean, the wood chipper, when you see the wood chipper in the beginning, it's like, well, we know we're going to see the wood chipper in the hallway again.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, Warren Subtle. Yeah, this is. My dad ended up walking up when we were shooting this scene, and he saw, and he looked at everyone, and he's like, nope. And he walked back down.
Oh.
Wow. Oh, Jacob said I said the story right. Good. Oh, this is the best. Jesus Christ. Originally in the script, he was supposed to be amazing. Sorry to out you, Jacob, but I'm going to. He was supposed to kill like 4 vampires with this thing, and Jacob got the baton. Somehow he kept getting worse. So we changed it to the fact that he just.
God. How long were you underneath
Jesus
the
Christ.
guy? Do you think?
Too long, man. Too long. You don't. I didn't realize. You know, I actually fought for that joke, and then John actually got on top of me. I didn't realize we were going to be dick to dick. I don't know why I didn't think of it until it actually happens when both penises touch each other, even through the jeans.
Well, yeah, he didn't have jeans on.
It was awful. I mean, no offense to John. I mean, his penis is nice, I'm sure, but I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting that. It was weird. Probably too much information.
Come get some, static sons of bitches.
I forgot about the tattoo gag.
Oh, my favorite of all the gags. Some Daily Clerk was asking for some fun stories.
Yeah, and we're going to do
What we've been
a little
doing, but maybe-
Q&A when the movie's over.
Oh, okay, behind.
If you got time. Whoa.
Okay. Yes, it is. This scene is ridiculous. They're having a heart-to-heart. Our stunt guy is in here like 3 times.
Yeah.
There he is. There he is again. Same guy.
And like big budget movies do that. Like John Wick, they use
Yeah.
the same guy will appear 4 times in the movie.
Yeah.
He'll have a beard, you know, in one scene and not in another.
Yep. That was fun going down those stairs.
Yep, and there's Wayne. Hey, Wayne.
Right. Like, why would he think that? Why would he think you're not moving? He can't see you.
Not immune.
No. You can see that thing, that big light right there. We knocked our heads fish wire right there. This is my favorite part with Jacob Gibbons coming up. Just got real. Damn. Guy in the house. Oh, right there. Oh my God, that looks so real. When Jacob did that, I was like, oh my God. Oh. All that. Oh. Give up.
Tongue out.
Never surrender. Yeah.
The whistling music.
kid's adorable. That is Charlie, Noel Carroll's real boy. It's his son, so he did fantastic.
Was it an idea from the beginning for all of you to just be completely red?
Yeah, I think that was definitely, we were, big fans of like Evil Dead 2,
Yeah.
and, Bad Taste, which we talked about that. And Clayton was a big fan of Brain Dead as well. And
Yeah.
just covered in blood was definitely. Oh, thanks, Daily Clerk. Not that I had anything to do with the cinematography, but there it is.
Yeah, all that
That
surprise
is-
snow. That's incredible.
That is so much snow.
I know.
And there below there is like a big tarp, and we had to take the snow off
For
and
other shots.
shoot the grass scene. Yeah. I know. Ah, that guy. Sequel? Question mark.
Nice. All right.
Well,
Thank you again to
we
everybody
did it.
for sticking with us, man. We maintained a decent audience on this. I'm really impressed with the first
Yeah.
showing. We're
I don't know how many people
based
showed up.
on the audience for this so far. I will definitely be doing this again. I think we'll even work it out and figure out how to do more with it. But for right now, let's just do a quick Q&A. Anybody, you got any questions?
Cool.
Throw them in the chat. Derek and I will both kind of keep an eye on it and
Anyone's-
answer a few questions. I know I had one. Oh, I don't know if you can disclose this, but I'm curious, like what the budget was, or at least kind of what ballpark it was in. And if you can't, I understand.
Well, yeah. Unfortunately, I can't say I can tell you what we raised for the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
We ran out of money because that's public. That we ended up raising $37,000 for the post because we had a budget for post and production, and then we used all that money for production because there were just so many unexpected things that happened when we went and shot it. It was very low budget though. If I'm sure whatever you think it is, it's probably very close to that.
Yeah, and I'm gonna ask because, like, I know what the budget is on some other things, and you can always sort of like my estimation is that the movie looks like it's worth more than you guys actually spent.
I think some of that was that we either paid people very, very little because they loved the project, they loved us, and they worked really hard for very, very little money or no money. Noel Carroll, he didn't take a penny for it. He didn't. We were lucky. I was lucky to get paid a little bit just to get through a month because I had to take a month off work.
Yeah.
So I was paycheck to paycheck. So, but other than that, I took as little as possible to get it done. And then you just work as many overtime hours as well. You're not paying anybody, and because it was non-union, we weren't SAG, so we were able to get away with a lot of this stuff. It was it's a vampire film, but it was also a passion project, in a sense. So Yeah, just a lot of people did a lot of favors for us, and it wouldn't have been done if it wasn't for my parents and the people of Washburn and Superior. You know, they really came to our aid and helped us make the movie.
I've got a couple questions already. What's up with the sequel?
It's something that, well, originally we have outlines for the total of 3 movies. And the second one we have really outlined, and the third one, we definitely have an idea of where we want it to go and stuff. The second one, we've had several meetings, but we haven't actually sat down and wrote the script. I think we'd have to have a real a real budget for the second one. I don't think we could do the favors and stuff for this one without all of our wives leaving us and our kids never talking to us.
Yeah.
This was we asked a lot of favors, and I just don't know if we'd feel comfortable asking the same favors, or if people would want to do the same favors for us, So I think that's part of the issue as well. Not an issue. It's just, we would love an opportunity to do it, but we'd love to do it with a decent budget, if possible.
I don't know.
So if that happens, we'll do it.
But so like if the vampires popping when you stake them is sort of the vampire gag, what are the ideas floating around for sort of the werewolf bit?
Like how do they die?
Or what would be the unique thing about the werewolves?
It's a great question. We actually have the answer. I think Jacob would kill me if I said it out loud.
Yeah, that might be the case.
It is just as unique but way grosser than the popping.
Let's see.
Are they talking about McRibs?
Yeah, somebody asked the question, did you know McRib is back?
Jesus
and then
Christ.
We've devolved.
That's got to be Vinny.
I do not know.
Oh my God.
Someone's asking if Whitney Moore is related to Mandy Moore, but I'll go ahead and answer that one. Yeah, everybody with the last name Moore is actually related to each other. So.
Oh, I didn't know that. So,
yep.
Corey Moore, Jed Moore,
all of them,
family friends, and that is.
They're probably. I'm being an asshole. They're probably asking because they both have like a similarly cute face.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, did I not know about this in?
What's that? This here? You never seen this?
I think I have.
You would have died first, bro. Now, especially you. Guys like us don't live long in situations like that. You wake up in the morning and look at you see.
I did see this. I saw it the first time I watched it, or the second. I didn't see it every time I watched it.
Yeah, it's like so funny. These guys are great. We should make a movie with them. They definitely have we have some decent ideas for them in the sequel because people just love them.
Daily Clerk is a longer twirl cut. My understanding is that there is not, but that they've talked about making like a longer version. Jacob says there is more footage.
Yeah, there is a longer
cut.
Yeah,
I could see
it actually.
Derek and Jacob,
yeah.
I could see doing like a 15-minute, feature-esque kind of short,
just to see if that works.
Yeah,
and then go from there. But yeah, I don't know. Like some people do say like they would love to see a full feature twirl, but I'm like I don't know if people would really want to see that. I don't know. I think it would be a great marketing ploy to get people to see House Harker.
It would have to be so good.
Yeah,
because there's
it would have to be. Yeah, it would have to be Bring It On,
like there is with vampires that pop. It would have to be so funny. I mean, it could be
so funny. Well, it would have to be like Bring It On, but with batons.
Yeah,
like that level of commitment. We'd have to probably have a bigger budget for twirl to make it work.
Joey 4-Track is asking when we're doing the next watch with me. So I got to plan it. I have an idea for one, and that is Jenna Cannell, who was on the podcast recently. We played the mean comment game. She was in Terrifier. She has not seen Mandy. And I would very much like for her to sit here with me. We had the camera a little further away and watch it with everybody, because that actually comes out on Blu-ray tomorrow on the 30th, and it'll be on Shudder soon, and it'll be much more accessible. So I like the idea of watching Mandy next, but we could go a couple of other ways. But not to mention, I've not even mentioned it to her. I wanted to see how successful this would be first, and this exceeded my expectations.
Wow,
so I'll definitely be floating the idea to her. But whether or not I can get her up here for that, I don't know. But I like the idea of that. Derek, I could see us doing another one with just something we both like. I've got a friend locally that has been wanting to do this with me for a long time. So
nice. No, this was a lot of fun, and just to kind of sit back and watch it too. I guess I have a question for everyone watching.
Let me stop you. Daily Clerk says, "Can we please get a deputy buddy cop movie?" Ooh. So there's not a movie, but Good Cops is a series that Derek and the other guys from the movie did, where they are like Lethal Weapon parody, kind of like over the top cops. They're like 2 minutes a piece. Derek, is that right?
What was that? Yeah, about 3 minutes a piece. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can watch it on YouTube. What is the YouTube channel? I'll retroactively put the link in the description, but I don't have it in there now.
It's Good Cops TV, and if you like the humor of House Harker, definitely has that. If Good Cops is actually even weirder, and especially the first season, it just it's about these guys that their partner gets shot in the heart, and in their head they want their partner's family to get the life insurance, so they try to kill him, and everything goes wrong. And in the meantime, they're also trying to track down the night flasher, a guy who flashes people during the day. So that's Good Cops. I probably pitched it wrong, but Daily Clerk says Good Cops. Yeah, go to Good Cops TV, and you can check that out.
Yep, Daily Clerk. It's Good Cops TV, but if you just search for Good Cops, you're going to find it. You'll probably even search for Derek's name. You'll find it. There will be a link in the description of this. Like after this ends up being live, like tomorrow, you'll be able to come back and rewatch it. But just if you open it up, I'll put a link in the description as well.
It's basically Lethal Weapon meets Anchorman. That's the best way to describe that show. Just over the top. I have a question for people that are watching this. Who's watching this for the first time in the movie?
Oh yeah, if you're watching it, if this was your first watch, just give us some little just say first or something in the comments, and we'll see those come through in a minute. Yeah, wow, Joey's a long time Flick Connection watcher.
Wow,
I've seen him in the comments for almost the past year.
Thank you, Joey.
So thanks again to Joey for hanging out.
Another one.
Yep. Another long time channel.
42nd, Vinny.
Yep, it's Vinny's 42nd. I thought so.
That's Vinny. Vinny is. I've known him since kindergarten.
Vinny informed me of the McRib being back. I don't know if that's just a gag.
No, it is back actually. He Marco Polo'd me. He texted me this. He's just generally excited that it's back. It's not a gag. that's real excitement.
All right, and T Sloan, that's somebody that worked on the movie?
That's Tim Sloan. Yeah, he did. He wrote all the music.
Okay.
Well, most of the music, like 80%. Well, of course, we had a couple of songs from other people.
And then he appeared in the movie?
Yeah, he was one of the vampires when Whitney Moore opens the door and she sees the first vampire. That was Tim.
Okay.
Another first Joey, first watch. Wow. I guess maybe ask them too, just for your future reference. Like, did you guys want to hear more stuff? Was it okay? Was just watching the movie together? I mean, we both never did this before.
Yeah, I would ask the same question. Would it have been better to maybe have periods where we just were watching the movie and not talking? Would it have been better to just talk the whole time? Would you have appreciated me to have prepared more?
How much blood was actually used? I should know the answer to that, but I don't. How much blood was actually used? A lot. I mean, gallons. Look, that's what's Tumbleweed. Tumbleweed is another web series that we did. It's a Western video game, live action. Also on Good Cops TV, you can watch that. If you like video games, like Red Dead Redemption, it's basically, you know, it's not very subtle. Joey says he liked the robber. That was his favorite character. Awesome. Okay, that's good to know. Joey says, yeah, there was too much talking that settled down.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of story getting set up in the beginning.
Yeah, let me just kind of. That's good. It's good now. More behind the scenes. Info dumps. Yeah, any Daily Clerk? He came here for the gossip, Daily Clerk. Man, most part we got along fairly well.
Real quick, while we got still got a little bit of an audience, tell a story about the antique window.
Oh, yes. So when we're getting ready for the scene of like killing all the vampires, we really couldn't cover too much of the walls with blood. So we basically on the fly, let's just cover up everything, and these guys think it looks like a haunted house. So we're covering up the walls with tarps. We're covering up the windows with garbage bags. And one of our PAs, he's never PA'd before, and really nice guy though. And we were all, taping or nailing things, and he decided to nail a nail right by the window, and then he put tarps on it. He did that for others, and they worked. So he did this one for this other one, but he missed it, and it hit the window, and it just cracked just a nip. The crack became like an inch the next day, and then slowly, because of the cold, it just started the crack went all the way down. And this glass just happened to be 100-year-old etched glass that was worth $2,000, which was about 2% of our budget. And we we had to come up with it. We had, and we did eventually. But yeah, it was quite heartbreaking. I know the guy felt awful, and it wasn't. It was just one of those things when you make an independent movie. Things like this is going to happen. Those are the risks that you're going to take, and you have to fix it too. And that was, God, it was just like there was like 30, windows in that place, and that was the one that had to be broken. It's like, so that was heartbreaking. Oh, so this one, like more commentary in the chat.
Yeah, I can see
Definitely
that. I also kind of like the idea that people can just control the volume. I might just lead with that instruction from the beginning. Like if you feel like you're missing something,
that's true.
Turn it down.
Yeah, you can
mute it real quick. Turn it back on.
What is it?
I knew this one was going to be a learning experience, but
yeah. Do you know how many people ended up watching throughout? Or
I won't know till we're done. I'm
Okay, cool.
guess it's similar to what I told you, maybe more.
Okay.
The
Awesome.
average watchers, honestly, the average watchers at any given time was consistent with any live stream I've done. I thought it was going to be lower just because of the confusion over the multi-screen.
Yeah, I can tell you my mom didn't watch it.
I think it worked out. I mean, which means as the audience grows, that number will grow with it, and then people will watch us retroactively. The number will go up even more on it. So I'll let you know what happens with that. But I mean, well, you'll be able to see it. I mean, if you ever want to just look, tomorrow I'll post a new thumbnail, a more appropriate thumbnail, because it's probably just going to be my face doing this, or you.
I think
we'll have grabbed. It's going to randomly grab a thumbnail, I think, and then I'll make one that's got some of the, like a little more design to it, so people kind of get what they're getting ready to get into, you know. But the watch with me thing, I think we're going to do it again. It's not going to be a weekly thing, not right now. Maybe in the future, if it gets popular, it'll be a regular installment, but it'll be a while. Maybe once a month, we'll try to get one together. I'll probably even float out in a poll, like what night of the week is best or something like that. But I think this time frame works well. That way people on the West Coast are hopefully, you know, somewhat off of work or something by, you know, by this hour. So, Derek, you had anything else? I'm out of gas.
I had one thing I wanted to end it real quick, if that's all right.
Set up and promoting it. I know you definitely brought some people to the party, so
yeah, yes, sir.
But that's it for me.
Yeah, are you there still?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just one thing. Tim Sloan actually mentioned something here. It says, "And the mermaid killed the garage door." Okay, so we had to clean up. So we spent, oh my God, cleaning up that house was, oh my God, half the people left, but there was, you know, a good portion of us that stayed. Jacob, Tim was one of them. We had to clean up so much blood. There's so much blood in the backyard. We had to dig up. My dad went in the backyard and just saw John Inge, the visual effects, dump all the blood in the backyard in the snow. And my dad was like, this is going to soak into the grass. So we had to go break up all the snow. I mean, it was like just 16 hours of cleaning, just nonstop. It was madness to clean that whole house out. And my dad, you know, was kind of upset towards the end, with every right, because I asked him, I'm like, why did you agree to have us come out here? He's like, well, I didn't read the script. And we were heading out, and just to show what kind of a good guy my dad is, he ended up taking us out to pizza that night after we cleaned the house. But before that, we cleaned up everything. We took the mermaid, we put it in the garage. I was just shutting it up. I mean, the house was spick and span. My dad just did a walkthrough. He's like, all right, boys, you did it. This is great. He was so happy with us. I'm shutting the garage door. I'm walking to the door, and all of a sudden I hear this big bang, this bam. And so I run back. What the hell is that? And I'm like looking, and it's, you know, dark out at this point, and I can't see anything. So I got my phone out and put the light on, and there it was. The end of the mermaid's, you know, arm sticking out of this garage door because it fell and broke through the fucking garage door.
Yeah,
like we were minutes of leaving that place.
We're out.
we were done. We're out. And I was just like, fuck my life. Like, it was ridiculous. That was a good job, Tim, for reminding me of that story. So that's it.
Yeah, and if you want to know more about the movie and stuff that I was particularly interested in, like how it was released and went through festivals and their first time seeing it in a festival, like all of that, it's all in the podcast that I did with Derek. So just look for that. Look for the Derek Haugen podcast, you know, the Flick Connection podcast. I think it's like episode 21 we did. So look, it's got his face on it with the vampire makeup and everything. So look for that, and there's a lot of kind of cool stories in that hour we shared as well. But thanks to everyone for watching. Derek, thanks to you, of course, but also thanks to the other cast members and crew members that pitched in some insight and stuff in the chat. That was great and unexpected.
Yeah, it was great. I'm glad that they came on board and stuff. That was awesome. It was great.
All right, everybody, stay tuned for future versions of this. I think we will definitely be doing it again in some capacity.
Cool.
All right, thank you. Signing off.